Hi, my name's Tina Mayer, and I've been a CPA for a little over 10 years. One of the things you'll want from your employees, and one of the things you'll want to give to your employees, is information on how to reach each other. If they were to evacuate or if there were an emergency, really spend some time training your employees about having their own emergency planning. If their home is not habitable, if their community is not habitable, where would they go? How do I reach that person where you'll be? And how do you reach me? Because clearly you want to gather your information, make sure you have your people identified. Think about it as if you were evacuating your own home in a fire and you have a plan for your family. We'll all go out of the home and we'll meet in the driveway or in Bob's driveway down the street. Those are the kind of things that you want to think about. If a disaster ever hits you or your community or your business, these are some insights that I can offer you as a business person. You need to really be aware of the types of things that your employees may go through. Their whole home is gone, things that they hold dear, memorabilia, things that they had as a child, things their children grew up with. Those are the things that are gone forever. They are just things, particularly if their home is gone, it's what they knew as home. It could be where their children grew up. It could be in a neighborhood where their extended family lived. So here we are a year later, and our folks are still struggling with some of those same issues. The constant tension between providing a good work product and being worried for their own personal issues, whether they be rebuilding, whether they be relocating, whether they be their personal safety. There are lots of issues that employees are dealing with that we need to be aware of as their supervisors. Hiring and retention of employees is a really key issue for us. We've lost many employees in the period of time, particularly between having them redeployed to other cities when our company couldn't return to its offices to now. We have a lot of people who have jumped ship. They said, if I'm not going to know where I'm going to be working, I'm going to make that choice for myself. And unfortunately, it was many of our lesser tenured employees that we had gone to great pains to recruit and train and hopefully retain. They're all gone. So it's affected our succession plans, it's affected our aging workforce issues, and all of those types of things that we thought we had covered in the recent past. Knowing what I know today, I would not wait to hire employees. I mean, we've lost so many, and many of them were our lesser tenured employees. Frankly, I think our plan needs to include, and probably does at this point, a strategy for actually getting out there and hiring early. Knowing that you will lose some employees. They will not be patient with your company's strategy of wait and see. They won't be comfortable with not knowing and the uncertainty of where they're going to work and for whom and what their job might be. And many aren't comfortable with the type of workload that one of these disastrous activities really brings with it. It's an awful lot more work for the same amount or fewer people. So a lot of people don't have the stomach for that. So knowing what I know today, I would go out and I would really have a strategy for beefing up the workforce. Here's another insight that I'd like to share with you. One of our findings is that many of our employees have experienced a loss of self-esteem or confidence. People who were normally very productive, very engaged, have often shied away or been less engaged in their work or with their peers. In many cases, this is a result of maybe feeling like they can't protect their families, a lack of direction or a lack of certainty about what the future holds, and where they're headed. Many of them who have lost everything are renting now because of the uncertainty of where to rebuild and how to rebuild. So those are very critical decisions for them personally, and unfortunately they cannot separate them from what they do during the day at work. I'm sure many of your companies also have an employee assistance program. We've seen a significant rise in the usage of that program. Of course, it is confidential in nature, so we don't know who's using it. All we know are utilization numbers, and they're up quite heavily. So if you have an employee assistance program, it is a great thing for the employees to have. It needs to be communicated. They need to be reminded that that is available to them and their families, because the employees are not the only ones that are victims in this situation. The families are often left holding the bag to do a lot of things that the employees normally would do, and in roles that they are not accustomed to. It could be managing contractors to repair your home, or staying on the phone and harassing the contractors to show up. So any number of things that you normally wouldn't think you'd be in that role. So the EAP is invaluable.